In this episode of Coastal Living San Diego Style, we're going to cover the 5 significant changes that are coming to the San Diego marketplace that you need to be aware of. But first, I want to welcome you to Coastal Living San Diego, where we cover all things San Diego. We're going to give you information on the things to do, places to go, entertainment, the best beaches, the best employers, the best neighborhoods to live in, the places to avoid, of course, the pitfalls. There are pros and cons to living in San Diego. And don't forget to subscribe. Hit that like button for me if you would, please. And if you hit the notification bell, you won't miss any of our future videos when we drop them. And of course, we cover all things real estate. That's what we do here. These 5 factors, they are going to have a huge impact on lifestyle. So if you're thinking about moving to San Diego, if you currently live in San Diego, you're going to want to watch this video to the end and see what these 5 things are. So let's get started. Number 1, skyrocketing or canceled insurance premiums. I'm sure you guys heard about a lot of the homeowners that their premiums were canceled or their insurance policies were canceled right before the Los Angeles wildfires. This is happening nationwide. It's a massive problem. Here, we don't get floods as much, obviously, but we do get a lot of wildfires. State Farm and Allstate have stopped issuing new home policies in California due to wildfire risk and high reinsurance costs. The premiums in some San Diego areas like Poway and Ramona, which are a little bit inland, so they tend to have higher wildfire risks, they're up 35 to 60%. I sold a home last year in Ramona. The new homeowners that purchased it, I checked in on them, even though I wasn't their agent, to see how things were going. And their insurance that had been issued when they bound the policy and bought the home, a month after they moved in, their insurance went from $100 a month to $700 a month. Since then, they have relisted the house with the agent that helped them purchase it because of the insurance costs out in Ramona. So it really is a huge issue that you do need to pay attention to if you're relocating to San Diego. Non-renewals of insurance premium have spiked 800% in San Diego County over the last 5 years. And the state's FAIR plan, which is basically the insurance of last resort supported by the state, is bare bones and really expensive, and it often requires like a secondary policy that you have behind it so that you do have enough coverage. Mortgage companies will impose their own homeowners insurance if you don't have adequate coverage, because let's face it, you don't own your house, the bank does. And if you do own your house free and clear, you don't have to actually carry an insurance policy. This isn't just about fire either. There is a flood risk, and climate disclosures now affect policy rates and resale value. San Diego has 4 unique weather patterns. We have coastal, inland, mountain, and desert. Most people don't realize San Diego is the most biologically and ecologically diverse county in the entire United States. I know, it's crazy. That's why everybody wants to live here. The other thing that's important to know is less than 3% of the world has weather that's as fine as San Diego. Well, what does all that have to do with insurance and real estate and all that stuff? What it has to do with it is people want to move here for the weather. People have a hard time buying homes here because of affordability and because of insurance premiums. So let's look a little bit deeper into this topic of insurance. State Farm rate increase has allowed insurance rates between 15 and 38% that are effective after June 1st of 2025. And the move addresses the company's financial strain from the recent wildfires, which was about $3.4 billion in payouts for the 12,600 fire-related claims that we just had. We spoke about the Los Angeles wildfires. There is also underinsurance that's going on. Condo complexes are losing full coverage in their master insurance policies. What does that mean? That means that if they don't have enough coverage, they will no longer qualify to get a regular mortgage. They're known as qualifying mortgages, or QMs, and they're your least expensive interest rates. They're kind of the box that you fit in for Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, all of the federally backed insurance programs. When the condo complexes are underinsured, you no longer can get a QM mortgage. You now have to go down to a mortgage that's by an investor, different type of product, let's just say, different underwriting guidelines. And typically you're going to pay a bump in insurance. Not typically, always you're going to pay higher interest rates for those types of policies. So when you're buying a condominium and you're looking into insurance or any home in San Diego, it's really important that you research your insurance policies upfront and be very clear on what you can or cannot do or what is covered. The California Safe Homes Act aims to provide a state tax-free fund to help residents purchase fire-rated roofs and develop non-ignition zones around their properties, enhancing eligibility for discounts. So in California, when wildfire areas, which is most of California and San Diego, even coastal can be considered, you are required to maintain what is called defensible space around your property so that in the event of a wildfire, you don't have a lot of dry scrub or brush that is near your home, and it increases the odds that the firemen can save your home in the event of a fire because you don't have anything to burn. A lot of homeowners put things like ice plant and other water intensive, not usage, but full of water so that they don't burn very quickly around their homes. So there's a lot of ways that people can mitigate their insurance costs, but truly this is going to be a huge factor. Let's see, insurers like USAA have a flawed algorithm where 2/3 to 3/4 of past fire victims were actually underinsured. So again, pay attention to the insurance policies. All right, let's move on. Number 2 in factors to consider in San Diego in 2025 is affordable housing. How is the affordable housing going here? Is there progress or is it a pipe dream? Well, the median home price in San Diego County in May of 2025 was, according to CoreLogic, $880,000. That's up 7% from last year. We now need about $200,000 in income, actually a little higher than that for most people, to just comfortably afford the average home price in San Diego with a 20% down payment. Mayor Todd Gloria, I'm not a fan, his Homes for All of Us Act aims to build 10,000 units this year, but so far has only hit about 60 to 70% of the target. And we can talk more about the impact that Todd Gloria's legislation and plans have had on the livability and the quality of life of other people who live near some of these projects. The inclusionary housing laws now require 10 to 20% of units to be considered affordable, but developers, they often just opt to pay fees instead of setting those aside, or what many of them do is they set aside a certain number of units for affordable housing, and then after a year or two, they change the designation from affordable housing to a higher market rent, if you will. Are you thinking about relocating to San Diego? I understand why. Here's the thing, I've got the ultimate relocation guide for you, saving you hours worth of time. And the best part is, it's absolutely free. That's right, absolutely free. It's got the top beaches, the top hospitals, the best schools, everything that you must know before you move to San Diego. We've done it all here for you, and you can just click on the link below or in the top pinned comment to get your free copy. I hope it helps. New construction is focused on luxury, multifamily, and rentals, not entry-level homes. So we've got a lot of development that's happening in San Diego right now, but it's San Diego. It's coastal. We're generally not targeting affordable housing for developers here. They are generally targeting luxury. The people that are buying and that can afford to buy in San Diego are the people that are earning $250,000 or more. The people that don't have that kind of income, that are opting for rentals, are paying for one bedrooms, $2,200 to $3,000. 2 bedrooms are anywhere from $2,700 and up, depending upon whether you're close to the coast, whether you're inland, kind of amenities that you have. And the vacancy rates in affordable rentals are under 2%. So there's wait lists of like 1 to 3 years for affordable housing in San Diego. State density bonuses are helping, but neighbors are pushing back on the quote upzoning single family areas. Let's speak about that upzoning just a little bit if we may. This is a little bit of a pet peeve of mine. What they mean by that is a couple of years ago, California and especially San Diego basically abolished single family zoning. Now there are overlays in certain areas of San Diego County because San Diego County is huge. We have several cities within San Diego County, and they therefore have their own overlays to any local laws or zoning laws. Poway or Santee, El Cajon, Oceanside, Chula Vista, La Mesa. There's a lot of cities within the county of San Diego. So when I say San Diego, I mean the entire county that we're referring to. And what they've done 5 years ago, if you built what we call here ADUs, that's accessory dwelling unit. We used to call those granny flats. When I moved here, they were called granny flats, and it was just a little 1 bedroom you put in the back, and it was 400 to 600 square feet, or you converted a garage or you added it above, and that was additional living space. We didn't call it affordable housing back then, but they were just called granny flats, and they had very strict legislation around how you could build these granny flats. These granny flats had to have off-street parking. They couldn't be sub-metered separately. So they really preserved the single family feel, even if you put a unit in the back. And they had setback lines from your property line so you didn't encroach or diminish your neighbor's privacy. So there were a lot of regulations around these ADUs that have since kind of been obliterated, if you will. Obliterated in the fact that now there's really no limit to the number you could put on a single family lot now. So there are literally single family lots that are having 20 units put on there. These are no longer really truly accessory dwelling units. They are literally condominiums or apartment complexes that they're putting on there, but they're not putting the infrastructure underneath. For the plumbing, the electrical, the off-street parking is no longer required. Can you imagine living on a cul-de-sac and having a 6,000 square foot lot, single family next door that is then converted into 20 units with no off-street parking or 2 off-street parking? Unbelievably disruptive to the quality of life of those areas. Therefore, it kind of segues into my third huge thing that we all need to pay attention to in 2025, and that is ADUs everywhere. Is it innovation or neighborhood invasion? My feel is a little bit of both. If it's done well, and some people are really doing a terrific job of maintaining the integrity of the neighborhood. But if you're going to buy in San Diego, if you're relocating here, if you're thinking about moving up or down, you need to look into this and talk to your realtor. Call me. I'll hook you up with a good realtor. If you don't have a trusted partner, by all means, we're not created equal. You do want to get a referral. Right now, San Diego has approved over 5,500 accessory dwelling unit permits in the last 3 years alone. Now, that's the City of San Diego Planning Department. If we go countywide, that number skyrockets. Right now, I'm just going to focus on the City of San Diego for simplicity purposes for you guys. Investors are buying up single family homes. What they're doing is splitting the lots and building massive towers on these. There's a Senate Bill 9 that allows for lot splitting. And what that means is you can take a single family lot of a certain size. Generally, it's going to be at least 5,000 to 6,000 square feet, which is kind of average for a lot of areas in San Diego. And you can literally apply to have that lot split down to 1,200 square feet to put a standalone dwelling on with 0 setback. Yes, you heard that right. I can split this lot, my lot, and sell it off. Of course, I have to give an easement to access. So this is massive. SB 9, the worst part about SB 9, and most people don't know this, is if I apply for SB 9 on my property, you cannot. If you are my neighbor, you cannot, I can't. So even if you don't want it, you want to apply for it. Well, why did they do that? If we're trying to add affordable housing, why would you prevent anybody from being able to split their lot? This is why. The reasoning behind it, I have been told, I haven't verified this, is that they don't want developers buying the entire block and putting up huge buildings, which is happening anyway. So really what they're doing is preventing this guy from making money while these two guys do, and ruining his quality of life and blocking all his sun by putting up these towers. The character of historic neighborhoods like North Park, Golden Hill, South Park, Claremont, Kensington is really changing fast. Parking is a huge concern. Most of these ADUs do not have off-street parking. Do you want to move to San Diego and not have a place to park your car? I know people that are looking for rentals and they literally will not consider anything that doesn't have a parking space. Homeowners are earning a lot of passive income by this, but rents on these one bedrooms often exceed about $2,000 a month for the small accessory dwelling units or granny flats without off-street parking. You know, I don't know. I know a lot of them are sitting on the market vacant and aren't being rented because it's just a concern of people where they're going to park. And I'll be honest, most people really don't want to take mass transit or walk a half a mile down. Are we really solving the housing crisis, or are we really just creating a mini Manhattan in Mission Hills? I don't know. I'm not sure. That leads us to number 4, which is the fourth big factor that's going to affect living in coastal California or in San Diego County is climate. Climate in San Diego, the coastal living, call it the rising tide for the climate crisis people. I don't know. What are your thoughts on climate? Do you think we're in a climate crisis? Are tides rising in your area? If you're coastal, is that a concern for where you are? I know we've had a lot of weather issues that have happened. We've had record things happen in the past year. Witness Maui, Los Angeles, North Carolina, Florida. I have a coastal property in Punta Gorda, Florida that got hit by 3 hurricanes in 2 years. I'm here to tell you that never happens. We never get 3 hurricanes that hit the exact same city in 2 years. Now, I'm curious for some of you people out there on the climate crisis issue, how much of the climate crisis really is related to gas-powered vehicles and factories and cow farts? How much is actually related to weather manipulation? And before you go crazy on me on weather modification, do a little bit of research. There is stratospheric aerosol injections. London, England, the UK just announced, and I think last week, if not very recently, a plan. And I kid you not, I'm not joking. Go look it up. And if ChatGPT tells you it's not true, tell it it's lying, because it lies to me all the time, and say, yes, it is true. Go look it up. They just announced Satan, stratospheric aerosol transportation and nucleation. Satan is there blocking the sun for their climate crisis. I want to know from my viewers in the UK, if I have any, do you guys really worry about the sun that much? From what I've heard, you're kind of like Seattle. I don't think you guys have excess sun. Now for the question of the day. For those of you guys who are thinking about moving to San Diego, I'm really super curious, where are you coming from or thinking about leaving, and why to San Diego? Please do me a favor, drop a comment in the section below. Also, if you do me a favor, if you like my videos, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and you can hit the bell for notification for every time I drop a video. I appreciate you subscribing. Be radiant. So, climate crisis. How is that impacting us here in San Diego, and what does that have to do with real estate? I live by the coast. I have so much cloud and cool weather that it really becomes emotionally challenging, like a Seattle type of thing. For this year, since January to now, we have had so many cloudy days that I'd be interested to know how many on the coast. Those of you who know San Diego know we have what's called May gray, June gloom, which is 2 months where the marine layer rolls in, it hangs out by our coast, it's heavy, it's thick, it's cool. If you're coming to San Diego, don't visit us in May and June. You'll be disappointed unless you're going to go to the desert, because you won't be getting any sun by the coast. But what happens is generally around mid-morning, marine layer rolls out, and we get a couple of hours of sun, and then it rolls back in. Lately, that's been a little bit different. We've had a lot more activity in interesting cloud cover, man-made cloud cover, if you will. And if you want to go check out some of the information around it and let me know your thoughts on what impact it might be having, the Santa Anita Watershed Project Authority, or SAWPA, actually has on their website a page about cloud seeding, talking about they use ground seeding to produce clouds to increase rainfall, because obviously we need rainfall. We are a semi-arid desert climate here, and we will literally go 8 months without rain here in San Diego. So climate is an issue for us here. I don't know, the experts say the sea level rise is going to go up about 9 inches by 2050, but they were saying that 50 years ago, and that hasn't happened. The bluff erosion is a massive issue. So let's talk about that real quick. What does that mean in San Diego? If we're talking about climate and we're talking about erosion, that is a major issue. If you buy coastal, we have very unstable soils that easily, we have a lot of collapses of cliff sides on our bluffs because it's just unstable limestone, I think, sandstone. You geologists help me out here. Drop a comment. I'm a realtor. I don't know what it is exactly. But I have actually been walking the beaches of Torrey Pines when cliffs have collapsed behind me. People have been crushed by falling rock. So the erosion rate has accelerated in Encinitas, Del Mar, Sunset Cliffs, La Jolla, Torrey Pines, and the shores. Those areas are dramatically impacted by coastal erosion. Over 800 coastal homeowners received letters about flood zone reassessments. New coastal permits now require disclosure of long-term sea level risk. We have a coastal commission here that controls the development along the coast, and if you have to deal with the coastal commission, that's a lot of fun. Don't have enough time in this video to talk about that. Wildfire season is longer and closer to the coast now. In 2025, SB 222 allowed Californians and insurers to sue fossil fuel companies for damages related to climate disasters like wildfires and floods. This legislation aims to shift some of the financial responsibility for these climate-related damages to the fossil fuel industry. I think that's a little bit misguided. I think we need to rethink what's going on with some of that. The Santa Anita cloud seeding project that I spoke of earlier, what they're injecting into the atmosphere is actually aerosolized acetone and silver iodide. The governor's mortgage relief proposal Governor Newsom proposed a $125 million mortgage relief program for homeowners affected by the natural disasters since 2023. How that will help and prevent foreclosures and help the homeowners in 2025 remains to be seen. As much as I love making these videos for you guys, there is one thing that I love more, and that's helping people relocate to San Diego like I did 20 years ago. I've helped countless families make the move to San Diego and in and around San Diego. So whether you're thinking about making a move tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, it doesn't matter. Just reach out via text and give me a call. You can email me. Just don't hesitate to reach out. My contact information is on the screen. You can find it also in the top pinned comment in the link of my description of the video below. I look forward to helping you guys make the move to San Diego like I did 20 years ago. You won't regret it. Let's get into number 5 of the huge changes that are coming to San Diego in 2025. Transportation and environmental policies influencing home ownership. California plans to ban the sale of new gas-powered vehicles by 2035. And it's influencing current infrastructure developments, including investment in electric vehicles, as we know, charging stations, public transportation options, and even how homes are built. They're trying to eliminate any natural gas in new homes. So for those of you chefs who love your natural gas stoves, you better speak up and let Gavin Newsom know, no bueno, we don't like that. So with the transportation and environmental policies that we're running into, charging stations put into homes upon building, solar panels being increased in home, a lot of overlays. We already have it's called a water certification. When you transfer ownership of homes here, you have to fill out a water certification and file it with the city that you have low flow shower heads and low flow toilets, 1.6 liter, things like that. All very good legislation. I mean, I'm all for conservation and protecting of Mother Earth, so I think that's fantastic. But some of these onerous environmental policies can make it difficult upon transfer of ownership. Especially be careful if you are thinking of buying a home in San Diego that has solar panels. You really want to investigate that. Number one, did they replace the entire roof before they installed them? Because otherwise you have to pull them off to put on a new roof. Number two, are they leased? Are they liened? Or are they purchased outright? Number 3, if they're leased or liened, how easy it to transfer that. Number 4, does it have an escalation clause in your payment, i.e., does that increase every year? Number 5, can you pay it off at close of escrow? Can it be paid off without any prepayment penalty? Some of these solar companies have truly done some not very good sales, not good service to their people, should I say, to their homeowners. The impact on housing development is new developments near transit stations may receive parking requirement waivers where they don't have to put any parking there. Encourages higher density housing developments so we can put more on the footprint of what that land is. But it will, affect the dynamics of the neighborhood. There's a very controversial development that's going in at the corner of a couple of streets in a neighborhood called Claremont, and it's at the corner of Balboa and Genesee, I believe. And they want to put in Balboa and Claremont Drive, where they want to install or construct 500 units where a little strip center used to be, with very little to almost no off-street parking. There's not a lot of transit near there. So this is going to be massive. Developments like this all over San Diego County are really going to have a huge impact on the livability and where you choose to live in San Diego. So the San Diego Association of Governments, or SANDAG as they're known, also has a 30-year regional plan focusing on expanding public transportation, which is great. Not so great as they're implementing a mileage-based user fee. So when you drive a car anywhere, they want to impose a per mile fee where you drive, as if it's not expensive enough to live in the Sunshine State, which isn't even as sunshiny anymore as it used to be. We need to look at some of these imposed fees. This is supposed to reduce our reliance on our personal vehicles, reduce congestion, increase environmental friendliness. Again, I'm all about environmental friendliness. I'm all about doing things that save Mother Earth and make our lives easier and affordable housing here in San Diego. I'm just a proponent of really intelligent discussion and critical thinking about how that impacts us, and whether it's driven more by a motivation of capitalism or if it's really driven with a desire to contribute to the livability of San Diego. Because I absolutely fell in love with this city when I came out 20 years ago for a 2-week vacation. I never left. I stayed with 2 suitcases. I lived in Georgia and I was done when I found low humidity in San Diego lifestyle. I can snow ski and surf in the same day and go to the desert all in the same day. Unheard of. Truly, truly, San Diego is a most magical place to live. If you're thinking about relocating to San Diego, I'd love to have a conversation with you. San Diego is hugely diverse in all of the little cities. It has 10 different microclimates alone. You really need to know your lifestyle needs, where your employer is. You do want to avoid traffic. San Diego's traffic is heinous. It is like LA, it is like Atlanta. You do not want to be there. So you do want to partner with a trusted advisor. So let me help you out. I can connect you nationwide. I'm Jennifer St. Clair with eXp Realty. We are a worldwide realty. Be happy to help you out there. Also, download my free relocation guide for all things San Diego. It's important to know San Diego is very different from South County to North County to East County and living by the coast. So if you're thinking about moving to San Diego, you really need to know all of the innuendo between these different areas. I currently live right by the coast of San Diego, where our weather stays about 55 to 75 degrees almost year round with almost no rainfall. I've fallen in love with the city. I would love to help you relocate here and fall in love with San Diego too. So don't hesitate to reach out. Give me a call, DM me, reach out in any way you can. Thank you so much for watching my video to the end. I really appreciate it. I look forward to connecting with you in the same video. Shall I say that really cheesy Anchorman? Stay classy, San Diego.